See, I'm just talking to myself. Good God. How this thing auto mutes. I apologize. Thank you, Zaid. Welcome to another Flash Hour. Appreciate you guys showing up. As you can see, my studio is a little bit different now. Moved into a new location as promised. Have a couch behind me, lighting over here. Still getting moved in, so I actually don't have my clothes fully, flushed out. So most things are in random places as of this very moment. But cool thing, new studio. Would be cool to do some podcast style or some different styles, I would say, of interviews and things like that. It's something I've always been interested in. Something I've always wanted to do is do an interview, have an interview process. But what do we got? Oh, everybody's here. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for the quick saves ahead.
Hey, Max.
Hey,
What's up? Everyone?
how was pickleball?
Yep. Nice.
Pretty good.
I'm jelly. The new place I live actually has a pickleball rec center. Like, it's kind of weird because it's legitimately just like it's a whole facility for pickleball, and you can like join and join a league or a club. So you have to like join in on like a team. It's like a whole thing. So a little jelly that you guys get to do it on a reg, that or handball or pickleball, whatever you like to, because I believe both are played. So whichever one you want to do. But wish I was local. Wish I was able to do it. It sounds like a lot of fun. Plus, I'm kind of just like a competitive guy by nature. I love like playing sports. I hate watching sports. You literally will not catch me watching sports ever. But yeah, having a nice, just like sports activity has always kind of been my thing. I like doing things like wrestling and jujitsu. So like martial arts or martial sports. And then I love like weird games like pickleball, wall ball, handball. Not so much tennis. Not a tennis fan. But anyway, enough about me. Let's get into this week's prime topic, which is State of the Trenches. Just kidding. State of the Trenches, kept it a little short this week. It's more things that go on, but a lot of it's kind of like nonsense and pump fun. There's like scuttlebutt about pump fun leaving Solana. Highly freaking doubt that. Even if they do, I feel like it's one of those self-inflicted wounds that's really going to. How does that not hurt them overall? I'm not sure. So. Didn't add that in, but I'll just say it here. It's not on the slide. But Morgan, one of the big ones is Morgan Stanley actually made Solana available to all of their E-Trade clients, which is a massive tranche of people. I actually even used to use E-Trade a long time ago. But so, yeah, there's a lot of clients that are on there. 8.7 million for households, which is pretty wild. This tri-ramp open 24/7 stablecoin account and payment settling on Solana, that's pretty cool. It's like a complete onboarding service. You're seeing this like blend now where there's no more like, oh, this is crypto and this is, you know, traditional banking. Now it's just becoming seamless, which we all knew that kind of transition was coming, and Ramp seems to have done a pretty darn good job with it. And far as the AI space, wait a minute. Yeah, no, Noah. Sorry, the Noah. Try Noah. That's what it was. Sorry, I'm dumb. I think I misspelled that there. That's my bad. Try Noah AI open waitlist. They're kind of like the I don't know. I would definitely say they're the leader, like VVV. What is it? Venice. I think it's Venice something, right? You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely leading as well. So I think Noah, them, Moby is the other one. But I just wanted to highlight Noah, not NOAD. I don't even know what that is. I think I just fat fingered that one. They're actually doing kind of like an accelerate. So if you're in the AI space, building on Solana would be cool to see what they have to offer for our trenchers out there who are building. BZ, this is like the big tokenized thing recently. It all has to do with these gotcha boxes or whatever they are. But BZ, it's like a machine claw kind of game. I checked it out, and then they're pushing a lot of volume, or not a lot, but a decent amount. And it's just one of those things where you can get that what do you call it? True randomization. I don't know what they call it. Anas, you'd probably know better than I would. It's like basically not BS randomization. It's like actually real randomized, whatever you call it. And then the same thing with collector crypt, so Solana consumer card top ups. That's basically that gotcha box kind of thing where you're able to get those. I think it's Pokemon. I don't know. I'm One Punch. A lot of the other ones. I'm horrible with all this stuff, but like we've already discussed previous
I
flash
think
showers.
yeah, like, it's the reason why we faded is it's almost like NFTs, but it's not NFTs. So that's
Yes.
why we kind of faded gachas. But overall, there is this thing where people are able to get at least 50% of their money back when they are playing those games. So there is some hint of surprise factor to it, but we are yet to see that factor sticks out for a longer period of time.
Yeah, and they have Oracle pricing. I mean, it is extremely quasi. I'm gonna put Oracle pricing in quotes, but they are using a form of pricing, which really made the case for me. On top of like what you said, you're getting, some of them are giving 50%, some of them are giving 80%, some of them are actually giving, what is it, 90%? I think one of them, if these are the higher dollar amounts, so like if it's I think it's like $5,000 packs or something like that, you can actually immediately sell it back for 90% of the value of whatever the card is. Now you just spent $5,000, so if the card's only worth $2,000, you get $1,800 or $1,850. Yeah, it's not that great. So I mean, like 90% of the value of the card, I think, is where people get a little lost. So if you spend $250 pull and you get a $50 card and it's 80% of the, I mean, that's not great. The math ain't mathing too much, but some people do get caught up into not quite understanding that portion. But the Oracle pricing, I think, is the key. That's what unlocked it all. Is like using the PSA and all the different card grading, I don't know, companies or wherever out there. I saw that and I thought, this is super interesting. They have all this data that can help them. It's not just like NFTs that are completely blind. I mean, it's basically just whatever. There's no oracle, so no fixed spot. Tap. Oh, Solana consumer card. Yeah. Tap Map Fund launched this treasure hunt. This is really cool. It's on chain. Basically a business can reward the individual for being in the location. And so this is like IRL and performing a specific task or buying a specific thing at that location. And I think as time goes on, that's actually really neat because it could be fully recorded on chain. You can use the phone's location. And of course, it could be like an in store activity. So then that way everything's tied in and you can actually give out an in-store reward. So I just thought that was interesting. It's basically just check-ins and rewards, but it's always been a problem for some companies who've tried this in the past. So it'll be interesting to see what they. Candy Digital. Holy crap. By the way, Candy, if you were unaware, last cycle, Candy was pretty massive. They had like MLB, whole bunch of sports cards trading, bunch of other stuff too, though. DC, I think some Marvel. Since Marvel's so split up, though, I think they had like weird fractionalized, so like some Marvel stuff, some not. So Candy Digital enabled true self custody for digital collectibles on Solana. That's a big deal because they have such massive brand deals. So hopefully with that, maybe NFTs can do a little bit better just in a new I know. I don't believe it either. But Candy Digital, I mean, they took a massive hit last cycle because obviously NFTs just blew up and hoping they can make a comeback. I don't know. Maybe they pivot into something completely different, like RWAs, where it's like a physical collectible with a digital copy. Something of that nature would make a lot more sense to me. But the problem is it's going to be because even today in the real world, it's such a niche market. They're still going to be small in comparison to really the broader financial market. So it'll be a niche little thing for them if they end up going that direction. MetaMask activated gasless Solana swaps covering gas fees for traders over $200. Welcome to the party, finally, MetaMask. Seems like they love to lag behind, but their UI UX is freaking awful. Jesus. I mean, that is the worst
I think that
wallet ever.
there is a catch here which a lot of people might not get. Is like you pay a lot of fees when you are swapping on any of these wallets. The
Yeah.
fee range is something between 10 to 50 bips.
Yeah,
I'm
not
sure.
gas, but not gas or transaction fees. You're talking about like the wallet fee.
Yeah, the wallet fees
Yeah.
essentially which will cover the gas fees for them. So
Oh, 100%. Yeah, same thing with Phantom. Yeah, absolutely. They're
that's what Jupiter
raping
does
you over
as
the
well. Like
coals.
if you have used the Jupiter wallet, there is no gas fees on most
Yep.
of the swaps,
Yep.
even on the UI. And what essentially they do is like cover up from the fees that they charge, which is about 10 bips on every swap.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they obfuscate everything, right? It's
Yep,
like,
yep, yep.
hey, no transaction costs, but you're making it up somewhere. Trust me, they ain't no free lunch, okay, guys? Transact on chain. It's the smartest way. All right. Security incident. Today's going to be a heavy focus on, not focus, but heavy explanation on this. We want to make sure that is live and out there and we're as transparent as possible with the community. And so that somebody has a reference point to go back to if they want to watch this again or get a full overview of the incident that happened with Flash. Well, it actually, yeah. Go ahead, Anas. I'll let you explain it.
Right. Let us start from where it all started. All right. So let me take this. On Tuesday at around 4:30 p.m. UTC, we had an incident which was able to spoof the withdrawal flow that we have and siphon off with $98,000. And that was the first incident to hit us. We got our pager duties going ablaze, and we kind of were at our desks in
less than a minute, and we've identified that okay, this does not look like a legit withdrawal. We put up a no op in almost no time. Thanks for the proactiveness from the team, we were able to limit the damage. Um, and within like the first few minutes of the incident being reported or even being executed, we had the program deployed for no op. So basically, no instructions could be executed while we investigate. So at that time, we like no op meant trading, liquidity provisioning, and all other activities on the platform would be halted. And a few minutes in, we did go out with an announcement stating that all of these operations are halted, and we are investigating the cause. Uh, Unfortunately, since we acted in time, we were able to prevent further damage. This goes back to the original good practice that we've had of isolating user deposits from the pools, deployed capital. So the damage was one, limited, and number two, we got time to react and protect further outflows. But then, as we went on to investigate and do our initial root cause analysis, we figured out there was a code which is injected via Magic Block's ephemeral SDK, which has been in development and has been open source for more than like 2 years now. And unfortunately, no reviewers and neither our team were able to kind of catch this before the incident hit us in prod. Eventually, it's just a simple PDA spoofing attack. Since we operate with the ephemeral VM, at this point, there's a second program that accounts are transferred between. So Flash's main program and Magic Block's delegation program are the two main programs that interact with all of the accounts that Flash interacts with on chain. And that is where an injected instruction allowed the delegation program from Magic Block to copy data from an unauthenticated buffer account. And we were quick with the Magic Block team on the RCA. The team acknowledged and started patching it and following the principles of informed, following principles of, sorry, I need to just get my notifications off, but yeah. Following principles of responsible disclosure, we spoke up with the Magic Block team. Did not announce the vector publicly because there are other active protocols on Solana right now using the same infrastructure. So we were
Exactly.
able to coordinate with the team and get them to also do a temporary no op on the program, coordinate with all of the other teams across the board to kind of initially pause all of their operations and then work on the fix as soon as they're able to. And in the meanwhile, we handrolled the instructions without using the SDK, and we were able to resume trading post the first 4 hours, as I remember from the incident. We had trading operations resumed after doing the full RCA and identifying the vector. We were able to isolate those particular instructions, have the trading instructions resume while we took some time out of abundance of caution to make sure that Magic Block team also gets time to validate the fix before we can allow withdrawals, because withdrawals are a system which is outside of our control, and once funds are transferred out of the platform, there's almost no way for us to control that or get them back, which is why we decided to take a bit more time on inflows and outflows on the platform. But trading was resumed within like the first 4 to 6 hours around that estimate that we were looking at. Unfortunately, all operations could be resumed, all positions were operational. Fortunately, there were not many irreversible trades, also liquidations or sorts, which impacted user P&L. So trading resumed without any trouble, and then we kind of went on to do a detailed RCA, wait for an acknowledgement from Magic Block team on the fix, And then in the following 8 hours, we were able to also have deposits and withdrawals like fully resumed on the platform. So that's the crux of the incident. And yeah, thanks to the good security practices that we have had, and unfortunately oversight on a um, uh, few paths that were outside of the program's context that we miss on multiple fronts. But overall, we were able to kind of isolate the impact, act in time, deploy a fix, and moving forwards have better controls on not even letting like the amount that we lost be lost any further. So right now we've had everything in place, and through the week we have done extensive reviews internally and externally, both, and made sure all of our code is secure, all of our practices involving OPSEC are also revised, and everything is set in stone for now. And we were able to kind of resume our feature development, and kind of never look back to what has happened over over the unfortunate incident, and kind of fill the gap from our own funds. And thanks for Magic Block for also a generous offer to cover a part of the funds that were lost, and also for going out with responsible RCA from their end, outlining the vector, which is
Yeah.
published, and people can also review that, um, and coordinating with us on the fakes and having all of the systems back up and running uh, without a flinch.
Yep.
Sorry about
I
that.
think
Did you have
yep,
anything
the
to add,
main part.
Nas?
Yeah, the main part was how fast we were able to get things back. It was not even 24 hours in that everything was back to normal. And then in the next 24 hours, we had certain more hardening that was done, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, which is also live right now. So I think the next part we will dive into those details. So yeah, we can just
Yeah.
move on to the slide and uh, cover up the new thing that we have, Zohib, now for the settlement.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And I think thanks to a lot of bespoke suggestions from across the board, we've had a lot of discussions and debates around what is the best way to prevent such incidents that cover unknown unknowns. Right? There are always these two types of vectors which you can predict, known unknowns and well unknown unknowns. So covering all of those with a system that kind of prevents flow of funds, like prevents any amount of tokens from leaving the platform, is what we're looking at. And like the last months, last few months, um, I don't know, post Fable, post Mythos, or even uh, just the advent of these AI tools have been like quite fascinating, where you see vectors being exploited across a wide range of DeFi protocols, starting with the Drift half, I believe, from 1st of April up until now. We have seen so many different ways that things have been compromised. They might start off with a developer machine being compromised, or a private key signature, or just a whole key being leaked. But overall, what we have seen is if the program has native thresholds, which it honors no matter what, then even an admin leak should not cause damage beyond a predefined threshold. And that's what we got into building, and kind of isolating what cases could be covered, and what's the best case. But eventually, the exploit that we did face last week was such a unique thing, because if you're able to spoof state, outflow limits could be overcome. Let's say you have whatever outflow limits being computed and implemented. Well, an attacker could always just spoof a receipt in such a way that it aligns with everything. It could present it in such a way that it's trying to withdraw an amount which is legitimate within your outflow limits, but still cause a lot wider damage. So after reviewing all of it, we've come to conclude that a permission to withdrawal system is best while we work on all of the different ways to make it permissionless eventually. So for now, we have agentic verification for all withdrawals from the platform, and post verification, everything is like signed. So from a user's perspective, we already changed to a deposit or a two-step flow, right, where you kind of request deposits or withdrawals from the liquidity side, or even for withdrawing from your trade account, you have to first do a transaction, which kind of requests, and then there's a callback because we also operate the ephemeral VM. So there's always this gap that exists because we need to pass receipts between mainnet and the ER, and authenticate all of it and then process the withdrawal. So the benefit of doing all of it is like you read in the custodianship of mainnet, and the deploy program binary. So we have kind of tweaked the system to also have an additional agentic verification while the receipt is being processed, which helps us authenticate from an independent perspective. There's no spoofed state or any additional vector that was introduced, using like on-chain verifiable history. So all of your transactions emit logs, and all of your transactions are indexed in history on chain. So we can always form a thorough proof of precedence, which determines how much money was deposited, how much money was made using trades, or lost for that matter, and then eventually how much is the user entitled to. So all of this system kind of works in the background, makes sure everything is in line, and during this period, if we flag any inconsistencies, then the systems kind of kick in to pause the outflow of capital. And this prevents like any sort of malicious vectors, like would ever be the case. If there's any form of an exploit vector that's perhaps sitting silently on our code base or downstream, like we use a lot of partner integrations with Magic Block, with Pit. Pit oracles have been like proven to be resilient, but you never know if anything happens, and if there's any breach of security on any of our downstream dependent, even then the system kind of flags up and does not allow any funds to be taken out of the platform. So this kind of just puts the whole perspective into place. We've made it airtight, and nothing goes outside of the platform in terms of tokens or funds flowing out until an external agentic verification has happened. And in certain cases, if the agents fail to verify, we need someone from the team to come in and do a manual verification before the funds could be processed. So this doesn't really kind of impair permissionless in all forms, but it kind of adds this additional layer of security before we can confidently just have an immutable binary deployed eventually. So this is the benefit of having custodianship and the asset flow retained on mainnet, while the ER handles all of our trading and settlement execution in the lowest possible latencies. So this system is live now, and I think that's been serving us really well without users noticing any difference in the whole UX, and that's just like helps us make sure user funds are protected while offering the same UX that we've offered up until now.
Yeah, that's great. Uh, Another thing is the builder codes. I think that is still in the pipeline. That is being done, but overall, we were busy with hardening anything that might have been left, but there was nothing, to be honest. But it's just another layer that has been added, and it's live right now, where every withdrawal that goes through Flash is reviewed very strictly, because there is this whole instance of magic blocks that is not in our umbrella, but to be safe, we have this layer that will basically review everything that is going out from Flash.
Nice. Yeah, the security layer is super important, and especially with the latest and greatest in the agentic AI space with like Mythos, and then apparently OpenAI has some other models coming out here soon. They just met with the government on because they want to get clearance or something because it's so powerful. And then you've got Kiwi coming out. Kiwi ended up being a Mythos style kind of at least bare minimum. I mean, it competes with Opus, so security is paramount right now. To say the least about where agentic coding is going. Reviewed security threats, and then API v2 rollout. Did I get that right, or did I screw that up?
Yep, yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that is still
Uh,
under works, which would basically power the UI that we have and will make things much more smoother and faster. Basically, lean. Right now, the UI is still built over an SDK, which is which basically makes things a bit slower. But yeah, API v2 will smoothen things out, and even on the integration side, it will also make everyone's life easier.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then the excuse me, geez, the SDK. The reason the APIs are like super important is it allows the client to be super light, which would the client would be like what you're seeing in your browser or on your smartphone or any application that might be rolling out, like a mobile app. Having the API surfaces makes the client far faster than just rolling it through an SDK. Just for the viewers' information.
Indeed, and I think we also have the docs updated for anyone building over Flash to use the SDK and the API to kind of fasten up any sort of development or integration that you would want to build over Flash. So
Hmm.
do give it a check, and if you've got any doubts or any ideas, feel free to bring them on. You could reach out via chat on the right from the UI, or you can open up a ticket in our Discord, and we'll be right back to you and help you out with anything that you may need help with.
Yeah, always available. And you can always find me on TG too, Mighty Mags. Pretty easy. It's my name on X, just with a Y though. I swear I got to get this handle with a Y. The guy who has it hasn't been active since like I don't even know 2011. Uh, so quite a while. Would be nice to finally get it, but I have to buy premium. I think I'm an El cheapo. I think I pay like $8 a month or something. I still haven't gone to the higher package, which is like $25. One of these days. One of these days. I just reply on our account, Flash Trade. So a lot of the replies is either me or our other meme lord, I guess you could call him. And then as far as I know the slide's not here, but as far as first off, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming and supporting Flash Trade. Of course, you show up every single week. We greatly appreciate it. We have the standard cohort that show up. Tom, I'm sure you're in attendance. Panda, thank you, sir. Even though you're a team member, shows up every week and does the same exact uh, comment. But thank you, sir. And of course, if you guys have any comments, if you guys have any questions, you can drop them in Discord right now. I keep my eye on Discord just to make sure that y'all are not dropping something in there. One thing that was actually brought up by oh, wow, that got out of hand. The integration. So Tom wanted us to talk about the Imperial integration and how Imperial integrated with Magic Block also, and then how we kind of, I guess, saw that as validation for our kind of leap of faith with Magic Block.
I guess there's not much to dig into that because as it is, the volumes that were coming through Imperial were very low. It was not even like $10,000-$20,000. The last time I checked, and I think
Hmm.
that is that they're trying to dig into basically to get some more volume onto their platform and get some more usage. So I think they're
Yeah.
building some sort of tap to trade thing where people can basically guess which price Bitcoin or Solana would be in the next 5 minutes, and they can bet on it. So that is something that I think I've seen so far what Imperial is building. But overall, yep, that is what I've seen so far. But in terms of integrations, like a lot of people haven't understood that like, most of the volume that we get is through our own UI, and the integrations are there, but they do perform a bit on the lower side as of now.
And my general understanding of why they want to do the magic block is obviously if they are going to develop some kind of tap trading, just like you said. But the other thing is they're a router, so they have to be extremely like optimized for like fees and transaction costs and everything else that go with routing through a perps platform through their own UI. So I'm guessing that this would help in that direction, or would I be wrong?
I'm not sure.
That's what I mean. That's like the only thing I can think of is either they're building their own kind of application over top of these perps, these kind of like first party perp integrations, and then or they're optimizing for fees, maybe. I don't know,
Sure.
transaction costs, speed. I don't know. I mean, that'd be the only thing I can really think of, Tom. So, Tom, thanks for the question. That is
I,
the only thing that I really had in Discord, unless Anas, you had something.
Yeah, and I think one thing to add there would be something that we've observed with Imperial and Rect, and a few other integrations is the time to open your first trade. It's almost always like
Hmm.
few seconds into the first user interaction, because there's this whole thing of creating accounts, delegating them to the ER, and then having the funds deposited, and then eventually placing your first trade. Which for gamified use cases, it's a bit more of trouble, or just a lot more hassle in a sense. So lowering the barrier to entry could be a good way for aggregators or integrators to work on it, and I think that's a big push for Imperial team and others to work on, kind of having a native deployment on the ER. Excited to see what we get from it, and yeah, really excited to kind of see wider adoption of Magic Block's ephemeral execution VMs.
Yeah, me too. Uh, Magic Block expanding. The overall, I mean, future of Flash, again, I know we don't have the slide. Is there anything that you wanted to add to it? Is there anything that you wanted to cover this week? I know this week we really wanted it to be cover the incident, but
Because
wasn't
that's
sure
what we
what's
have
in the
done
pipe.
so
So
far, and that's what we are working on right now. So
yeah.
yeah,
And there are other things in the work. We're actually just not able to speak about it at the moment. Specifically advised not to. So there's things in the works, things in the pipeline, and then we do plan on doing more with duels. Remember, duels is there. Challenge anybody that you want anywhere up to 5 players. You can choose, you know, if you want to go from 5 minutes all the way up to 48 hours or 2 days. You can do that. It's super easy. You can either sponsor it, which means you pay for the trading account and you pay for the pot or the payout at the end. And at the end, you get back the full trading account. You know, if you had 5 people who come in, you gave them each $70, and then the pot was $50. You get back the leftover money in the trading portion of it, and then the winner gets the pot. And then, of course, you have the match it. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know. I think that's probably a decent one, but match it is essentially where you send out that link. They use their own money to trade, and they add to the pot so that everybody gets that fair competition head to head. Best P&L wins. Still a really amazing, to me at least, really amazing implementation. We plan on doing a lot more as far as on the growth and marketing side with that. Hopefully, spoke to one member of a team, and we'll see how far that gets. But they thought it was a very interesting, fun, and interactive idea for their community. So we'll see if we can expand that out more and more and get more involved with the Solana community on the marketing side. And that's it from me. And all right. Any last words? If you have anything else to say before I say goodbye, other than that, I'll bid you guys adieu, and I will do my outro.
All right.
All right. See y'all next week.
See ya. Well, I have a little one talking to me. Apologies. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Of course, every single week you showing up for Flash Hour. We try to bring you the latest, greatest, what's happening here, like ground truth, and make sure that we cover everything and we're honest and we're transparent. Everything we put on the table, obviously, we're building in public, and sometimes things go wrong, but we own it. We stepped up to the plate. We solved it extremely quickly. We're able to obviously limit any major incident, and then the Flash and Magic Block team came together to make sure that that was made whole. The new backdrop is throwing me off so much. Every time I look at myself in the camera, I'm just so used to seeing the completely white background. Seeing that little brown back there keeps making me want to turn my head. But this is the new studio. It will be changing over time. We'll get it to look a lot better. Right now, it's kind of dingy, and just moved in 2 days ago. So this is the third day I'm in this studio, I guess you could say. And we'll get a nicer backdrop, just so it doesn't look quite as blah. And then potentially too, we can roll out a series or several series. I mean, one of the big ones that I'd really like to do is just get in traders, just like normal people. Obviously too, some of the bigger names, but just normal people to talk about their trading experience, what they're doing, things of that nature. So if you're interested in that, would love to hear your feedback. If you'd love to come on and talk about your trading experience on Solana, on chain, could be Ethereum or anything else. It would just be about trading in general, trading, cards, trading NFTs, all the different experiences. And what I'd like to do is have it be more of like a longer form where we can kind of like go through our user journey, how we got onboarded onto crypto in general, how you discovered it, how, maybe you're a traditional stock trader who then switched into crypto. So all those things would be really cool to eventually work into the set here so that we have a little bit more for not only our users, but the community writ large. But appreciate your time as always with Flash Hour, and we will see you in the markets.